Hola! Konnichiwa! What's up? We got lots of stuff for you on Total Spotfest. We have Rampage. We have Impact. We got XXIX Mania, whatever they call it. Then they have Resurgence. Plus, we have a kick-ass interview with one of the co-founders of Journey Pro. This is Total Spotfest.
Hey, welcome back to Total Spotfest. I am JJ Brownlee, accompanied by Jamie Faulkner, and we are here on with our new mic setups. We're trying some things out here. We're just trying to show off our T-shirts. I'm not gonna lie, but we're here bringing you an action-packed episode.
Cool.
We have the next month, 3 weeks or so is there's a lot of wrestling, and it started this past weekend. And I know you were out of town for most of the weekend, right, Jamie?
Yeah, I was in Peyton Manning's favorite city in Omaha. Yes.
Omaha.
Yeah, we went and saw a Omaha Storm Chasers game. That is the AAA affiliate for the Kansas City Royals, and the number 5 prospect in all of baseball, Bobby Witt Jr. was there. He signed a ball for my daughter.
Ooh,
so that was really cool. And then we
put that in acrylic.
Yeah. And then we went to the zoo there, which they have a fabulous zoo. We got to pet stingrays. It was cool.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Which is ironic. You're down at Disney World, but you had to go to Omaha to pet stingrays.
Well, I have had to leave them and go somewhere else because we originally were thinking about swimming with dolphins, but that shit's expensive. I'm I've already spent $6 grand on both these places, and then not even including airfare. I'm like, I'm good.
I remember on my first cruise, I went in with my family, because I did several cruises, after I graduated college and got into it. And then, after my grandfather passed, my mother's single child, so she got, and she's like, we haven't been on a family vacation in decades. We're going. And so I was like, and she's like, JJ, you love cruising. Like, yeah, she wanted to do it because I kept talking about it. So, and we're talking about doing the excursions, right? And then I was like, they have swimming with dolphins. And I'm like, and she's like, what? I'm like, just look at the price. It's like $700 a person. She's like, okay, no, good. We're good.
It's insane.
Moving on. So thank you guys for joining us. We do appreciate it. If you are watching on YouTube, as I always say, drop a comment down below if you want to get in the conversation. You can definitely hit that like button while you're down there. Helps us out quite a bit. If you want to hear more of what we have to say, hit the subscribe button. And if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast provider, just give us a shout on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Wow, so you probably didn't see everything going on this weekend, but we had the first inaugural Rampage show on Friday.
Banger.
And then we had, straight banger. I'm calling it right now. And we'll talk about it here later on. And then we had New Japan's first show in America, first show with fans in 18 months in America, Resurgence at the Flame, at the entrance to the Coliseum in LA.
I thought that was
cool
great.
Setup.
Yeah.
It was great setup. Plus, that same night, there was AAA's TripleMania 29.
Not XXIX Mania?
Not XXIX Mania. I mean, it wasn't Mexico City, so hey, no. TripleMania. We got Impact that happened as well. We're going to talk about some developments going on there, especially because of everything else that happened this weekend. And then to top it all off, we figured that wasn't enough to talk about. Let's throw an interview with Journey Pro because they're a little over a week away from their show. So we got the pleasure of doing another interview with our good friend Walter, one of the co-founders of Journey Pro. DJ, the other co-founder, he wanted to do the interview, but fortunately we had some storms roll through and power outages. Happened to me. Happened to him during our interview time. So Walter, like a champ, stepped up. It's like, I got your back, guys. So
And
we did
10 minutes notice too. Amazing.
It was like I got a text. I got a text from Jamie while I'm riding. Everybody listening knows I'm a cyclist, so I ride my bike every day in the evening. And it's like, I get a text from him. It's like, DJ's power out. It's gonna be Walter. I mean, that's cool, great. It's like he wants to go in 15 minutes. It's like, well, I guess I'll finish this bike ride later. Okay. It is what it is. So we're actually going to start with that. So we're going to flip over. So we recorded this last Thursday. So we're gonna flip over to our little video we have here, the recording of Walter. It's for those of you wondering, it's about 53 minutes. We will be back though to talk about Impact, Rampage, TripleMania, New Japan Resurgence. God knows what else.
Yes, news.
So we will try to get through it all as fast as possible. But give a listen, as Walter tells us, preparation for the show on the 28th, which is Weekend at Journey.
Yes.
And we are here with our good friend Walter over from Journey Pro KC one more time here. I know we had said last week that DJ was going to be with us, and he was planning on it. He wanted to join in the fun too, and not let Walter have all the fun. But apparently, power lines are a fragile thing in stormy weather seasons. So he couldn't make it, but luckily Walter's like, "Hey, I got your back, guys." So he's coming. Thank you for joining us, Walter. We do appreciate it as always.
You're very welcome. This is all like a last 30 minutes development.
Yeah. It is. I mean, who loses power at their home? I can't.
Yeah, that was you 2 days ago.
That was me for 12 hours 2 days ago. So hopefully DJ's having a better time. We wish him the best. But we are going to talk to Walter about the upcoming outdoor daytime weekend show. First of all three of those for Journey Pro KC. It is Weekend at Journeys. Jamie's got plenty of questions about that. And
yes,
we're going to get right into it. So for those of you who may not know, Walter, why don't you do a real quick introduction to yourself and Journey Pro, and we'll get right into it.
Yes, my name is Walter Fulbright. I am one of the principal partners of Journey Pro Wrestling based in Kansas City, Missouri, with, as mentioned, my partner DJ Stewart. We put on weird and wonderful professional wrestling cards for the good people of my home city. We've been doing it since 2018 with a hiatus that everyone understands why.
Yeah.
And now we are back, and yeah, that's it's something you should definitely come and check out if you hadn't yet. It's an awful lot of fun.
Yes, it is. Like, we fanboy about it every time we get a chance. As soon as we heard you guys are coming back, we automatically just marked out, if you will. And yeah, I mean, we're marked. It's fine. It's one of those things.
We all are, man.
It's just so good. Like, your shows are so good. Like, I joked about it. We called the last one the brick oven because I actually sweat through 2 shirts while we were there.
Same.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not usually I sweat a lot, but I've never sweat this profusely before, but I still had a hell of a time and it was amazing. So
I mean, there's only about once each of us had where we almost passed out. So all things considering, that's not terrible. I mean, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were standing the whole time though.
There was a confluence of events there, and I had a great time too. I'm glad everybody did, but we didn't get to put on like the full Journey experience because we made the decision that day because of how hot it was to not put out like our lighting rig and things like that because we didn't want to put any more heat into the building. And if you remember that week, that was 5 straight days of 100-degree weather.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it has a metal roof on top of those wooden shingles, so that thing was just radiating. And on top of that, Blip was replacing windows that week. And so they replaced 2 windows that morning, which meant that the place was exposed to the open air until afternoon. And if you know anything about big spaces, that place does have air conditioning. But if you don't start air conditioning it 24 hours in advance, in that kind of weather, there's no chance. No chance. So it was just, it shouldn't have been that hot.
I absolutely know. I made mention of that too. I know when we were there, I was like, I see the vents. I don't know if that's just for heating or what, but they definitely weren't blowing. But yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. So, is that why the lights were on around and just like the regular like Blip lights were on and running? Because I did think at one point I was like, it didn't have the ambiance as a normal wrestling show where it's like dark but you have lights on the ring.
Yep, because those things, those spotlights generate a lot of heat. And so you didn't want to generate any more heat. It was close to dangerously hot anyway.
Right.
Which is, of course, why we we gave away, I think we ended up giving away like 7 to 10. I think it was 9 cases of water that we gave away because we had water for people and we just decided to, give it out for free for obvious reasons.
Right. That was a godsend right there.
I drank like 6 that night. I'm not
I
even
don't
kidding.
blame you. I don't blame you.
I mean, we also made the joke too. It's like nobody went home drunk because I drank at least 8 or 9 beers and I just sweated all right out.
Yeah. We had to make some executive calls there the day of, and a whole podcast could just be done about the things that we did. But here's the thing that a lot of things, with haywire that way. But at the end of the day, like our wrestlers came through, like the talent came through and delivered a hell of a show, and that's the thing that matters the most.
Yes.
So,
like, I love me some Hoodie Howlett, and that Hoodie Howlett Christian Rose match, Jesus Christ,
phenomenal.
Like, it was everything I wanted. And then again, you continue the long-term booking that happened over a year ago with Hoodie and Gary J's little thing. Like, man, this is like so good. It was everything I wanted. Like, seeing Moonshine show up as a surprise, that was amazing. And like, he is one of the stiffest damn wrestlers I've ever seen in person. And I love it because especially with how hot it was, like that sweat was just like, it's just going everywhere. It was
we were also really close to the ring too. So
yes,
totally. And Moonshine notoriously sweaty in general. Like that dude sweats a lot. It's just one of his things. And so he was just like glistening. He was a human. Most people were a human slip and slide, but he was like on another level.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and like we talked to Kenny Alfonso afterwards, and he's like, man, like he wrestled like with the second match of the night, and at the very end he's like, I just stopped sweating. Like, it was good to talk to him about that too. But like everybody there did a phenomenal job. It was great to see so many new faces. Like you said, there was gonna be a ton. You did not disappoint with the new faces, because good God, there is just so many of them, and it was just for me, it was a pleasure. And thank you again for putting on another show. And this show that's coming up, holy shit, the card already.
And we don't even have the full card yet. And Walter's gonna, we'll try and pry some stuff out of him. We won't get anything, but we'll try. We'll try.
No, you won't have to try that hard. I'm going to give you some nuggets tonight.
Well, the great thing is here, too, I don't think we talked about this before we started recording. For those of you listening, we actually recorded this back this past Thursday. So there's probably stuff that's going to be officially released that we're finding out ahead of time, but you've known for a day or two. So we release this on Tuesdays every week, just so you know. And those of you listening are like, yeah, of course you do. But anyway, we're recording this Thursday night. So the new show is Weekend at Journeys. Hold that thought, Jamie. It's already eating through him. We're gonna get to name in just a second here, because he has thoughts and words and questions. But let's talk about the show. So the show is Weekend at Journeys and outdoor at Lemonade Park, which is catty corner from Kemper Arena, Hy-Vee Arena. Like in that general vicinity. It's basically down the street from Blip, more or less, right? Over in the West Bottoms. I remember during the ticket release, which we could talk about if you want, if you don't have too much PTSD.
I totally want to talk about ticket release.
You said we're doing extra 50% of tickets. So instead of 200, we're up to 300 tickets this time. Outdoor venue, first time ever, Saturday at 1:00. So feel free. Let's talk about that. So let's start with the show itself. Then we talk about the tickets, and then the name questions will arise. I know.
Ready, guys. Fire away.
All right. Go ahead. Well, I was gonna run through the card first.
Okay. Oh, go ahead and do the card then. Yeah. The card is
so far this is
and then Walter may give us some nuggets there, which we'll find out over the weekend. Who knows?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of big names on this damn card. So the first thing that was announced was the Seidel brothers, Matt and Mike Seidel, who were just on Dynamite and had a hell of a match with Dante Martin against the Elite, against the besties in the world. That match, I want that match so bad in my life.
That match is gonna fuck for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Then we have Jeremy Wyatt, who needs to be doing a lion tamer, by the way. I'm going to keep petitioning for him to do a damn lion tamer. Going against the artist formerly known as Curtis Stallion because WWE sucks nuts and they own the rights to his name. So he's Stallion Rogers now.
Lone Star.
Lone Star going there. And then Suge D, Sugar Dunkerton, Pineapple Pete, if you will, going against crowd favorite and what Walter named as an up-and-comer to watch in Everett Connors, and he did not disappoint. His grandma's still a bitch, but he's amazing. Then you have Thumbs and Buns going against the Howlets, which I'm a big fan of the Howlets. I like the reformation of the Howlets piece there. And I think this is a first-time match as well, which I think that's going to go into my first question. And then the most recent match that was announced was 5 of the Dark Order, join the Dark Order, going against, oh man, I just had it.
Mr. Sweaty Beast himself, Moonshine Mantell.
Moonshine Mantell. Like, oh my God. And so it seems like to me, all these matches are first time evers. Is that correct?
Every single one of them was a first time ever. None of these have ever happened before.
Is that coincidental with this being the first time we've been outside and we've been during the day and on a Saturday?
I mean, it's coincidental to that. It is not coincidental. Right. It's not coincidental that they were all first time matchups. That was done on purpose.
Gotcha.
Like to try to put as many like first time ever matches. And it's not ones that like there's a lot of first time ever matches, right? It's kind of like that thing they say where like, oh, this is almost every sentence said is a unique English sentence. Mm-hmm. It's not like that where it's just random local guy versus random out of town guy. Like I think in all of these cases, these matches are not only first time matches, but they're matches that seem like they should have happened already.
100%.
I legitimately thought that Lone Star and Wyatt did wrestle.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought they did. I was like, I swore I saw that, but you're right.
No, you did not.
They've crossed paths.
Feels like it should have, but yeah.
Going through, that's about it. Never in the same ring.
Yep, every one of these things is happening for the very first time.
That's cool. That is really cool.
I'm looking forward to that one. Like, we know, so I like to say this for the record. Jeremy Wyatt is notorious for having incredibly long matches, but they're incredibly amazing matches. And this last time, he didn't have as long as the matches we're accustomed to. And both JJ and I were like, wait, that seems short
for him. It was a half-an-hour match.
Yeah. But these two can go. And I expect this thing to be a banger. Now, I just, as hopefully a favor, if you could get into Jeremy Wyatt's ear to have him do a goddamn lion tamer, life would be great because he's perfect for the lion tamer.
He wants a lion tamer like nothing else. This is Jamie's favorite move. But really, he's looking for Jeremy Wyatt to publicly like berate him and tell him to go fuck himself or something like that.
Yes.
So,
I think you'd be a lot more likely to get the lion tamer if you didn't give him trouble about it. He's going to stubbornly refuse to do the lion tamer the more like trouble you get about it.
Jamie is very much a troll though, especially on the Twitter. So
I mean, you're making it to where he absolutely cannot do one. Think about it, because then he'll be like, I made you do that.
See, there you go.
Maybe I should switch it and get Stallion to do it. Like I just yell Stallion to do it to him, so then he does it out of spite.
Your reverse psychology.
Oh boy, I wonder how that conversation will go afterwards.
You better hope that he's not listening to this.
I hope he's listening to this. Jeremy's awesome. So that's a good thing. That means you're right. He is amazing. He can go a long time. Let's be honest though. We definitely tried to keep the show brisk because of how incredibly hot it was. I don't think anybody wanted to see that triple threat go for an hour. We needed to. That show ended up being right at 2 hours if you don't count intermission. We tried to, and I still don't think it was anybody felt cheated. I hope there was plenty of action and things, but it was not a comfortable situation in which to have a lot of long matchups. Let's just say that.
Well, you're going to be outside, so I feel hopefully as long as the weather
it is August in Missouri, so it could be 70, it could be 100. We don't, that's August in Missouri. Who knows, right? But outside, I have greater feeling with that. If nothing else, you're outside. There's a breeze. Something
exactly. It'll be fresher. Like It'll be fresher air with some movement to the air. That alone will make it a lot better. Plus, there's going to be some water features like misters, as well as
cool.
Oh, sweet.
I don't want to give too much away, but I'm going to give this away. There's going to be a section of seats and standing area that's going to be splash zone, because there will be chances of getting wet like you're at the water park.
Well, I was going to ask about that because all the promotional material this far has been very beach focused, right? And Lemonade Park, if for those you don't know, you can Google it, look it up there. It's a music venue is what it is, but they've got this kind of grass pad. They do they can do like theme stuff, whatever. So there's been insinuation about stuff, so I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna do like a Bash at the Beach style, kind of stuff. So that'd be some cool stuff. That'd be I dig that sort of stuff when when companies and promotions do that, themed but not over the top. So that's pretty cool. With the card, so like I said here, this is on Thursday, and we're recording on Thursday. We release on Tuesdays this interview. So between then and now and then, is there anything else that you're planning to announce over the weekend that you want to add to the card that we could talk about, or do you want us to wait and find out?
No, sure. I'd be happy to talk about it. So depending on when I get some graphics back, which I'm still waiting for, that's one of the, because again, I was talking to Jamie about this earlier, like before we started, like as a promoter, there's a specific cadence to promoting a show that you're going to have, especially wrestling, where you don't want to, the first day, whenever you go on tickets, there's a style that says don't dump everything you have all at once. You'll just have your announcements trip over each other, like let every announcement breathe.
Right.
Like let everything have its chance. But that's based on the idea that if you do sell out, you usually sell out either the day of or like maybe a couple of days before. But now we're still doing the dribble thing because, it's what I know how to do. But then we're selling out in like we sold out in 2.5 days on this one, but technically, I mean, most of those tickets were gone like within 2 hours that night.
Right.
Like I think we sold like 260 some tickets in like 2 hours. So we actually sold way more tickets way faster for this one than we did for 78 weeks later. We just had more to sell.
You just had more and more stock, right?
Yeah, because bear in mind that, and I'll say this openly, is that we had season ticket holders who, kind of ended up getting like, a disappointing short end of the stick last year whenever everything shut down. And nobody knew at that point, and for every month thereafter, when things were going to run again. So it's not like you had an idea. If I'd known right then, it's like, okay, everything's going to be down for a year. Almost 18 months. I would have immediately said, okay, let's just refund all the season pass and we'll see you when you get back. But nobody knew at that point what was going to happen. And you have to think of it as like, maybe we're back in 2 months. Probably not, but maybe we are. So for those people, we refunded and we gave them a free ticket to this show. So right off the bat, of the 200 tickets we had to sell, I'd offered like 75 of them to those people, and I think like 59, 60 of them took it. So that takes it down to what we actually sold was 140. Because I wanted, and you can understand where I'm coming from. I wanted to make sure that those people were taken care of. I wanted them to get their money back, and I wanted them to be able to get a free ticket to the show.
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
like most people don't do that. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely
long-term games over short-term games.
I wanted to show loyalty to the people who are the most happy, and other than one, and everybody was extremely happy, other than one fan who I won't talk about, who's very, very upset about getting 2 free shows out of the deal. But it happens. Everybody else was, But then, so now we go from, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't complain about 2 free shows ever.
Yeah, it's and I'm not going to drag anybody. It's not a big deal. It
is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, he just posts on half our posts and makes sure that everybody knows that he's still upset. But it's fine. It's fine. We have capacity problems. We get, you get big, you get popular. And his main concern is that he can't buy tickets to the next show at the show anymore like he used to because they're selling out too fast. I want everybody to have the chance who didn't get into that one to get the next chance.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll just see the same people over and over again, and that's not fair.
Right. Yeah. I get where he's coming from there. These are I think he said this too, like during the ticket thing. For those of you who aren't aware, the day of the ticket, the server crashed and all that stuff, and we had Reboot later. There's a Twitter live feed that we were all privy to. Like you said, these are the good problems to have. These are these are problems that it's like you want to have this because this is positive. Growing pains instead of how the hell do we sell these last 100 tickets? That's
right, which is where most indie wrestling sits. Most indie wrestling doesn't pre-sell like that. Like I recognize that we're in I'm very grateful for that position that we're in, and it's entirely due to you guys and other fans who are extremely loyal, and I'm so appreciative. But yeah, like I was saying, it makes the promotion weird because you're trickling out announcements for a show that nobody can buy tickets for.
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
But I still want to keep people excited who did buy tickets, so I think that still serves some value and reminds them and keeps the hype up.
Okay. All right. So between what we know at this very current time and what is going to be known when this podcast release is, what else do you? I know you said you're waiting for stuff to come back here. But do you want to leak anything out to the two of us right now that may be known this weekend by everybody?
Absolutely.
I feel weird phrasing it like that. I don't know how to phrase it.
I came in intending to do that. So this is a wild one. There is only one more match on the card, and it's big.
Oh.
And I mean it's big as in like Journey had never done like a gimmick match up to this point other than like one street fight. So I invented our own gimmick match, dang it.
Ooh.
And this gimmick match is the last match on this card, and it is called Ticket to Ride, is the name of it. And it is a 15-person one-on-one gauntlet match where this is what rules about this. Every person who secures a pinfall or a submission throughout the gauntlet match gets a ticket. And that ticket enters them either into the restarting Destination Tag Team title tournament with them and a partner if they're choosing, or into the Journey Pro Championship, the newly announced singles championship to start in October and run through December.
Wow.
2 championships on the line. Wow.
Yep, it's just basically going to get people into the tournament to get to it. That's how you qualify to get a chance at it our tournaments.
And if you get multiple pinfalls or submission, you don't get multiple tickets. I just want to check that.
You do get multiple tickets, actually, and there is a sub-rule for that. Whoever has the most tickets in each of those tournaments actually gets a first-round bye. So if you score several falls, you can earn yourself a bye in the tournament you're choosing. Though you cannot enter both tournaments.
Wow, that's a 15-man gauntlet, and that is amazing. It's got a little sprinkling of King of the Mountain on it there,
a little bit,
where you gotta kind of get a pinfall to qualify to do the.
Right.
All right.
I like it.
All right, we know what it is. Are you gonna leak out the competitors?
I mean, I know Ric Flair is available, and he said that he's never going to retire. So I mean,
so I'll definitely give you some of the competitors for Ticket to Ride.
Cool.
It's very, very significant that some of these are not going to be a surprise. Both Gary J and Christian Rose have Tickets to Ride.
Awesome.
Not shockingly, Luke Langley is separated from his tag partner because Mike's in the main event with the Besties with his brother. So Langley will be there trying to earn an opportunity for the Enlightened Ticket to Ride.
Awesome.
Dallas Cade will definitely be in Ticket to Ride. He can work by the state of Missouri.
There you go, Dallas. Good.
And Kenny Alfonso is in Ticket to Ride.
Nice.
For sure. The one called Manders is back and is in Ticket to Ride, actually.
He was so over with the fans. It was awesome.
Over. He was super over.
So we have him, and Yeah, I'll name you a couple more. There's a couple people that are going to be debuts for Journey Pro that are in Ticket to Ride.
Oh.
Trevor Ann, who works out of Georgia, who, if you've
Okay.
never seen him before, he's really, really cool. He's going to be in Ticket to Ride. Heidi Howitzer out of Denver is actually going to be in Ticket to Ride. She's like got a wasteland thing. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Like Tank Girl-ish, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome-ish.
Yep. If MLW wasn't using the name Fury Road and using it improperly, that's what this match would have been called. But I would have definitely used Fury Road.
Right.
That's okay. That's okay. I named it after a board game instead. Not really. But it's a perfectly reasonable phrase outside of the board game. But probably the one that's the biggest name making his Journey Pro debut in this match is the frontman Jossie is actually in Ticket to Ride, who, if you're not familiar with, find out now. Like, that guy is awesome.
Frontman Jossie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He is the current Black Wrestlers Matter champion. He is, if you're familiar with him. Yeah. And Darian Bingston and Dean Alexander are both going to be in Ticket to Ride as well, who made their debuts in the Scramble match.
Yeah.
And helped each other out. Yeah, they're both in it.
God,
I think
awesome.
I've covered. I think I've given you.
I mean, that's you say one match, but that's a hell of a match. That is.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got it. And there's a couple more surprises still. So I
know. Yeah, we're not gonna steal all the thunder. So
I haven't given you everybody. So what do you guys think? Oh, that's the other important thing, of course, is that the sole survivor at the end of it, which is how a gauntlet match works, gets one golden ticket, and that golden ticket is a shot at the Gateway Heritage Championship, which Jeremy Wyatt has held for his entire adult life. So, and you'll get both. You'll earn the opportunity both to be in our tournament and to get a shot at that title.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope it's Kenny Alfonso then. Like, because I want to see Jeremy Wyatt, Kenny Alfonso. Just putting that out there.
I do,
for the world to hear.
I really want to see. I want to see Jay Wyatt 3. I want to see an actual fucking result. I don't even care who wins. I just want to see one of them win.
It has been teased for a couple of years for sure, right?
One day one day we're gonna see that match to completion. I know. I remember I floated the idea. I talked about it'd be cool. I don't know if you were there, Jamie, but I said it'd be cool to do like a crossover show between Anarchy and Journey Pro in Colombia and call it Meet in the Middle or whatever. Anyway,
2 hours of porn stores. That's what we'll call it. 2 hours of porn stores each direction.
There you go.
That's
all right, Jake,
perfect.
you had questions about the naming of the show. I know we wanted to get to that.
Yes, absolutely. So, obviously, before COVID, you guys were musically themed, other than Die Harder's Christmas movie, which JJ actually has a thing about that.
I do.
But you're going movies now. So is movies the way it's going to be now? Because Weekend at Journeys is absolutely amazing.
Thanks. Actually, I'm proud to say I'm going to boast here that Matt Zadal said that was the greatest show name he'd ever heard. So I just had to point that out, that we got the rub from
pretty damn good
from Matt Zadal. He loved it. So honestly, we're just doing stuff that sounds cool.
Okay.
There's no real rhyme nor reason to it. It's like DJ and I text back and forth, and if somebody comes up with something awesome, then 78 weeks later, I came up with in the middle of the night. I actually just woke up and thought about it, and I was like, man, considering the theme of like what this is, like, and what we've been through, it's like, I'm going to count up the weeks, and I hope that number sounds cool. And so I counted up the weeks, and it was 78 between the February show, and which was the last one we ended up doing before COVID, and between that show, it was 78 weeks. So I was like, that sounds awesome.
Inning and 8 is perfect. Yeah,
that's really what I needed to have happen. Was I needed to end today. Any number that ended today would have been fine.
Yeah. 71 weeks later. Okay.
Not as good. But
not as cool. Not as cool.
Yeah.
And I think I did round up. I think it was like 77 and a third, but I was like, we're just going to call it 78. Just close enough.
Because I mean, if you're going movies, I am a movie snob, and like I can come up with tons of them, like Driving Miss Journey. You know,
Boy,
beyond.
that is not a movie that is aged particularly well.
No, not well.
Yeah.
I do not want to
Beyond-
see that poster without like getting us canceled.
2021,
That's
Jamie.
not-
Stop it.
Beyond Journey Dome. You know,
Yeah,
like
that would be fantastic.
2-man enter, 1-man leave. Oh my God, that'd be great. Sorry.
Journey to the Center of the Country.
Yeah, Journey to the Center of the Country. I like that one.
Just came up with that. You can have that one for free. But yeah, no, it's just something that we kind of talk about. We'll kind of probably go back and forth between movies and songs.
Okay.
Bear in mind, before Die Hard, Almost Famous is sort of where music and movies meet. That is a movie reference about music. So we had done it before.
Mm-hmm.
So
JJ, what you tell me you thought about?
My caveat was because Jamie was on this. We don't want to call it tinfoil hat, but he was he was convinced that's what it was. You had made the switch from being music themed to movie themed and whatever. And it between the two of us, I definitely am more of the music nerd, and Jamie is definitely more of the movie nerd. We dabble in both, but if we had to choose sides, that's the sides we would choose. Right?
yeah, I hear you.
Yep. So he's going on. He's like, I'm all about that if they have like nothing but movie themed ones, and I go with one caveat, and this is my plea to you right now, you and DJ who's listening at home with no power. December should always be Die Hard as a Christmas movie. Whether you do a sequel, a number, a year on it, I think that's perfect for your December show. That's just me. I don't know. Everybody listening, give us a comment. Let us know.
You're going to be the
Die Hard
happiest guy in the world. You're going to be the happiest guy in the world because we are going to not only keep that theme, but we're going to advance it logically.
Oh,
so
that's perfect.
The next
Die
one
Harder.
is Die Hard 2 is also a Christmas movie.
Yes.
The next after that is Die Hard 3 is not a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
and then I've never seen Die Hard 4 is going to be the fourth one, even if I have by that point. And then, and eventually the sequence will end with There Is No Die Hard 6. And that'll be the last one we do.
All right, so we got 5 years worth.
Yep, you got 5 years.
All
so
right.
I hope that makes you happy because I think that joke is really
does
funny.
make me happy. Yeah,
I think a show called There Is No Die Hard 6 is going to be that's going to be a lot of fun.
I mean, Die Hard's Christmas movie was a fantastic show that we loved every second of it. It was a great crowd. I think it was the biggest crowd you guys had at Kansas, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was darn near 500.
Yeah, it was
crazy packed. There was a lot of people. We had to give refunds because people couldn't stand together. They couldn't find places to even be. Groups of 4 couldn't find spots.
I know.
So,
I know.
That's the biggest one we've had for sure.
And
so
so good.
Yeah. So with you guys doing Lemonade Park and you have 300, and I assume like you still want to be spaced out because of the Delta variant and everything like that. So the next one, are you planning on being outside on the next one?
Yes, and I don't exactly know where yet. Our next show is already booked for September 17th was the date that we had, but Lemonade Park is definitely unavailable on that night. They have the Get Up Kids actually that night.
Oh.
So there's no way we're bumping the Get Up Kids for our wrestling show.
No.
That cannot happen. Shit, if I wasn't running, I'd probably go. But
I'm like, Get Up Kids. That sounds pretty good. Actually.
I feel like I'm now promoting for a show that's going to compete with mine, but we'll do fine. We'll do fine, but yeah, we're kind of we'll find something. So it's possible that our first 3 shows will be in 3 different venues. I'm still working on that.
Okay. Is there? And I know that a lot of this is going to be, I don't know, because the COVID is definitely COVID season 2 is definitely an ongoing question. We don't know when it's getting the plug.
Right.
But is there hopes to go back to Blip?
I would love to go back to Blip. I think once, hopefully, if things like calm down by the fall, I would like to run in there because I think that like the ideal setup that we would have is to do shows every month in Blip in the times when it's when it's cool enough to do so, and then every 3 months have a bigger show like we're having for this one in a bigger space.
In a different
So kind of have those be like your boutique shows, still awesome. They'll never short you on entertainment, I promise. And then have big shows every month. Because if you try to run 500-person shows every month, that's stretching your audience a little thin, frankly. That's not possible. Right. You know, that's how it becomes less special if you're running major shows every month. That's a lot to ask of people to do that, but yeah, that's kind of the ideal.
There's a lot to be said about the intimacy about a 200 person or 150 person show. There really is.
Totally, and if we can get that place to look good, it'll be outstanding. It can be a really good spot if we get it to if we really put are able to put our full foot forward.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. I mean, that card is bonkers.
It's really good.
Yeah, the one thing I will have to say, in all honesty, I'm surprised there wasn't a women's match on the card, because typically you guys always try to get at least one women's match in there. But you have Heidi Howitz going to be there.
A woman that we know of,
at least one,
right?
At least one. I assume there'll be more.
Well, I'll tell you the truth on that too, because I'm always directly honest. Like we lost 4 women on 78 Weeks Later, and we lost 4 women that we tried to book for Weekend at Journeys as well. And this is just bad luck because NWA is running that all women's pay-per-view in St. Louis that night.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about Empower.
So the availability of women's talent in our region became basically none.
Because Marty Bell's gonna be there.
Exactly, Marty would have been on this show.
And they're doing a tournament. They're doing a tournament for their something
and
or not.
Lainey was doing Ring of Honor stuff, but I don't know if she's still doing Ring of Honor stuff or not.
She has freelance that night. She was busy with freelance wrestling, is running in Chicago that night. Of course, that's her home promotion, and a very, very good one. Like freelance wrestling is awesome. So yeah, it just was one of those things where we tried and it didn't work out.
Okay, I mean, I fully expect to see awesome women's wrestling a lot more in Journey of to come here.
Got a bunch more than I know or I've confirmed for September.
I totally forgot about Empower, so that's crazy.
That's really that was really the death knell right there for our ability to book the top level of women's talent.
Makes perfect sense. Like, be here or be on a pay-per-view with NWA. I love you guys, but I mean, like,
we would never. There are people who would. There are people that would do it because they kept the date, but I would never let anybody do that. Anytime ever anybody gets an opportunity where they're offered a spot on one of my dates that conflicts with that is like they're going to be on AEW or whatever, I'm not going to make them. I think our fans would understand, like, they've got to take those opportunities to advance their career.
100%.
So
for what's worth, Empower is not sold out as of the recording of this, and your guys' show is. Just throwing that out there.
I bet they have more than 300 tickets though.
Just a few more.
True, but all right.
Just saying, not saying. Just saying.
So speaking of AEW, you have 2 AEW talent on here. You have Matt Sydal and 5. So does that mean the forbidden door is over for you to be able to possibly get more AEW talent to come to us at Journey Pro?
Yes. I'm just going to leave it at that.
His face is fantastic.
Okay, after this show, I'm going to give you a wish list.
I told you we're gonna try. We try, guys. We try.
I mean, I think I gave the answer.
You did.
Answer,
you
yes. Sure. We have a working relationship with AEW now, and that opens up the possibility for us.
Well, when Ruby Soho gets to AEW, you get her over just a PJ. Hey, Ruby.
There it is. I want Eddie Kingston because, oh my God, he's always been the king of the indies anyway. Like, in my opinion, Eddie Kingston it seems like he's just a good stand-up dude. He always puts on great matches, and he's amazing on the mic. I just want to see him live in a small setting. That's
he did wear a George Brett jersey one night on Dynamite.
Sure did.
Yeah, I love Eddie, and Eddie's a guy I actually have a personal relationship with. So
that's awesome.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're making me mark out right now. No. All right, so cool.
Eddie's super cool. King's a great guy. Yeah, that's very, very much on the table. How about that?
If it happens,
Yeah,
I want
there you
to
go.
make sure like we work out something. I get to meet the guy and shake his hand, and maybe like Ric Flair's top me or something. Like I don't care. Maybe he puts me in a lightsaber. I don't know. Yeah.
That would be an interesting sight to see. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'd let Jeremy White put me in a lightsaber. I wouldn't even care.
Oh, word. We have it on record. Jeremy, it's on fucking record. All right.
But I'm not through the Missouri Athletic Commission, so they probably wouldn't allow it. But anyway.
Just drive over to Kansas and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a stone throws away. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Especially Lemonade Park. That's basically on this Missouri-Kansas line.
Yeah, you pretty much just walk around Kemper and boom, you're there.
I mean, yeah, you know that where the old, I don't know how long you guys been here, where the old Gateway building used to be, like right there on Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
You know where that is? That
Yeah.
building is half in Kansas, half in Missouri. That building literally goes into another state.
Oh.
It is
That's
in
gotta
Missouri.
be a property
but
tax nightmare.
Yeah, once they establish like where the physical address is, all the property inside there is considered to be in that state.
Mm.
Okay.
You guys remember that quick trip on Southwest Boulevard that got torn down and then rebuilt like 40 feet away? It's like
I do. Yes, I do. It's right down the street from my storage shed my sister has. Yes.
Yeah, the reason they did that literally is because the address of that place was in Kansas, but that place is on the Kansas-Missouri line. They tore it down and rebuilt it 40 feet away so they could put it in Missouri.
So they could put it in Missouri. Interesting.
Wow.
Because then they could sell liquor. They could sell like a lot of things cheaper. They literally built it on the same property and it moved states.
Interesting.
Isn't that wild?
That is crazy.
That's the content people turned into here.
Why
Quick Trip tore a location down and then
fascinated
built
by
it on the same property. Yep, that's exactly why that happened.
All right, Jamie, do you want to do a quick Impossible game before we go?
Absolutely. 1,000%.
It sounds like you have one prepared already. Too.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Good,
Since you have Weekend at Journeys as your name, and this is your second consecutive movie one, I figured we'd go with a movie theme for this. We'll go once again to the desert island, but for somehow, some way, this desert island happens to have a TV and a VCR, or a DVD player, or Blu-ray, whatever.
Sure.
You have the ability to have one movie that plays nonstop every single day, and then one you can watch one day a year. What are those two movies?
The movie that I watch on nonstop is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's the movie that I keep forever. That is my daily watcher. I'll never get tired of watching that movie. Love everything about it. How often did you say on the second one? Once a week?
Once a year.
Once a year, you get to watch
one viewing a year. Just one viewing.
So, this is a really weird big jump. My second favorite movie, very similar to what I picked for music, actually. Or one is sort of poppy and light and like fun to watch, and the other one is more serious. Is a movie called Network. If you've ever seen that, the one with the I'm as bad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Yeah,
Howard Beale. Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's depressing as shit. So that's my once a year one.
That's bring you back to levity for 2 hours, then back to Scott Pilgrim.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Nice. JJ.
Okay. So continuous play all year. Well, I'm gonna nerd it up here pretty damn good on both of these fronts. So, my first one, unsurprising if you've seen me, being that I have a giant Star Wars tattoo on my forearm, it's going to be Empire Strikes Back. My favorite and the best Star Wars movie. I will fight anybody that says anything different about that second claim. And I want to say Star Wars, right? I can watch Star Wars, but no, it's the single movie. I'm not trying to cheat. So if I had to watch one Star Wars, it would be Empire. So that's on continuous play because I can watch Star Wars movies. Shit, last weekend I was gonna get caught up on something or another on Friday night, and there's a Star Wars marathon TNT, and I just kept it on. I didn't care, right?
Nice.
So definitely have that on repeat. And then my once a year movie is probably the movie I've seen the most, although Star Wars might be flirting with that, but I've seen this movie easily several hundred times. One of my favorite movies of all time, The Matrix. First Matrix. I love that movie. I just ordered a Matrix poster from this chick on Etsy that I've been looking at. It was out of stock for like the last 2 years, and I got a like in stock alert out of nowhere. I'm like, fucking buy. Yeah. So I definitely watched The Matrix just so I'd get that Matrix vibe at least for 2.5 hours, and then back to Empire.
Empire was the right choice. That is clearly the best of all.
Thank you. Absolutely.
100%.
I feel that I'm still watching Attack of the Clones on repeat, even though I've only seen it once. I feel that viewing is still going on to this day. It haunts my nightmares. I really hate that movie. I just wanted you to.
There's one good thing in that entire movie, only one, and that's Count Dooku's lightsaber. That thing is badass. Other than that, that movie sucks balls.
The first two prequels have single redeeming qualities on each one. Yes, that lightsaber battle is cool. And then in the first one, Duel of Fates, the music that they played during the Darth Maul. It's one of the best songs.
Really cool. That's a really cool scene. You have to sit through 40 hours of pod racing to get to it.
Yeah.
That has no bearing on the rest of it. Sorry.
Let's run away from the prequels. Run away.
Wars.
But yes, Empire by sure. Yeah, me and Walter, we know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Empire. It's Empire. I mean, if somebody tries to say the Ewoks are better than Empire, just get the fuck out of here.
Jamie loves the Ewoks.
I'm not an Ewok guy.
Jedi's not
but what is your choice?
It's not as good as Empire. The Ewoks are silly, but there's good stuff in Jedi.
Yes, I think it's good.
Oh yeah, the turn of good. Anyway, I'm a movie snob. Anyway, all right. So
space battle too. That's a great space battle in Jedi. But anyway,
100%. All right. So my movie selections are very, very different. I'm just gonna preface it by that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the one I'd have on repeat every single day is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Gene Wilder. It has to be Gene Wilder. None of that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory bullshit. Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I love it. My kids love it. It is my favorite movie of all time. And then my one I watch once a year is my second favorite movie of all time, and that's Seven. I love Seven. Just everything about it. Everything about it is just perfect. In a horror suspense style.
It was we made 7 jokes for most of my 20s, I think. So I'm also
in the box.
Yes, love. Very, very choice.
You are definitely going in a very similarly polarizing setup there, most definitely. But hey, I don't see a bad movie amongst those 6.
No,
so.
I mean you'll be happy regardless.
So here's what we want to do for those of you listening, those of you watching. Get in on the fun. Give us 2 movies down below every day and once a year. Let us know what they are. If you're listening to us, you're not watching us on YouTube, give us a tweet at Total Spotfest. Let us know this is your every day, this is your once a year. Get in the fun. I want to hear what you guys would have on your VCR on the desert island.
Those are fun questions. Those and like your least favorite things are frequently that's a shockingly good
I know.
Conversation starter.
We did our version of FMK, which is Feud. Was it Feud?
Mm-hmm.
Feud, Faction, or Fire.
Faction, Feud, or Fired. That's right. Faction, Feud, or Fired. We did that one time, Jamie and I, with 3 terrible factions. It was like the Spirit Squad, and it was like Sophie's Choice. It's like, oh god, I got a faction with one of these pieces of shit. Oh my god, who do I? It was
it was pretty bad. Aces and Eights.
I thought Spirit Squad was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I was amused. It's silly.
Ironic. I like most of the guys that came out of Spirit Squad. I love.
Yeah, but like by themselves. Yeah, I think it was Spirit Squad, Mean Street Posse, and Aces and Eights. I think those were the 3 that we did.
Man, those are in the category they're so bad that I actually kind of like them. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I don't want is mediocrity, and that's true with everything. Like the 2-star movies, that's torture to me. Mm-hmm. Like to me, I want shit that's either really good or really, really bad. And so you can go in either direction. Give me one of those two things.
Yeah.
Give me total disaster. Don't give me like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Give me Scary Movie 1 and 2. Don't give me Scary Movie 3. Or don't give me Steel Magnolias.
Just go straight to Trauma instead of that. Just go watch a Trauma movie.
Right.
You got it there, Trauma.
Yeah, that's exactly it. No, man, because of this show, I actually watched Weekend at Bernie's again.
Mm-hmm.
Which I hadn't seen it forever. And this is what I've learned. And I've found out that all those 80s movies, like so many of them, are so freaking boring. They have these crazy long intros to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like 15 minutes of setting it up. Like that movie is 45 minutes in before they get onto the island with a dead Bernie. It's like, this is not what people came to see. Like, I don't want to see like the story that got us here. Like, get me onto an island with you and a dead body. Let's get this going.
Yeah. 80s rom-com and 80s like dramedies kind of like that were just not good. Like Mannequin, ooh. Like, don't get me started, Mannequin. Like, it took almost 30 minutes for her to finally appear on the thing, like, to him. I was like, Jesus, why did it take so damn long? You get to the point.
I remember as a kid watching that movie a ton. I thought the movie was amazing as I was a kid, right? Yeah. Watching now, it's like, wow.
They don't hold up.
That's a bad movie.
Not hold up.
One of those movies that has a shockingly long intro like that is actually the original Karate Kid. The original Karate Kid has such a long intro to it. I don't.
Thank you.
God. The movie is literally 30 minutes long. Legit. Like, what you want to see is 30 minutes.
My best friend puts that in like his pantheon of best movies ever, and I'm just like, are we watching the same movie? I mean, it's like literally, I can watch the last 10 minutes and see everything I need to see.
Yeah, that first hour is tolerable.
Oh,
so long. I don't care.
Glad I'm not alone on that.
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't remember that because that was just more what movies were like when we were kids in like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't really notice.
And some of the early 90s movies did basically the same thing. Like, or they give you a real quick teaser, like, of really good stuff, and then longness of nothing. Like Demolition Man. Like, it's the perfect example of that, because they give you the hot action stuff right in the beginning, and then like build up, and then 30 minutes. It's like, come on, man.
That's true, but I love Demolition Man, and I think all that build-up is really funny. There's so many good jokes in there that I laugh. There's no action, but it's really funny. Like, that's the satire part of Demolition Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm still in
the three seashells. No, right there.
Taco Bell being the only restaurant, like they're literally making fun of their fast food sponsor. They literally are mocking their fast food sponsor that paid for product placement in the movie. Because I remember there were Demolition Man toys at Taco Bell when that came out. I remember.
Yep. Oh no, we remember too. Don't you worry.
For sure.
I love that movie. Love that movie. I really.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap this up here. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So thank you, Walter, for joining us once again. We always appreciate it. Thank you for giving us some juicy scoops, which are probably already known by now, but new to us. We will see everybody listening here, hopefully on the 28th at 1 p.m. Lemonade Park for Weekend at Journeys. And then stay tuned. We will definitely give you guys more information. We got more things coming up here. And we plan to talk again to Walter. And one day maybe DJ can hop on here too if he gets a stable internet connection. Who knows, right? Empower, right? We can rail on him because he's not here. So that's the fun of it. So no, we love you, DJ. So but we do want to thank Walter for your time here. Anything you want to say to the people before you adjourn, Walter?
Well, I tell you to buy tickets for Weekend of Journeys, but you can't. There aren't any. Yeah. They're all out.
Are you guys still planning to stream it on Twitch?
Yes. So, and eventually that will work the way I want it to. One of these days. Working on it.
It's getting close. Growing pains, people. That's all right. But if you want to see it, log on, get yourself a beer at home, put some flip-flops on, and go to twitch.tv/journey2anarchy.
You got it. Very good. Thank you.
Finally got it. Good God. All right. So that's what we got here. We're gonna return you back to our normally scheduled remainder of our podcast here momentarily, and we will see you guys at Welcome to Journeys. Weekend of Journeys. I fucked that up. All right.
You sure did. Wow.
All this discussion.
I was going so well, and then just bam, nothing. All right, whatever. I'll edit that shit out.
Thank you, guys.
Well, that was our interview with Walter. So, oh my God, that gauntlet though.
Yeah, Ticket to Ride, sign me up. And as of right now, One Call Manders has been announced. Of course, Gary J and Heidi Howitzer have all been announced.
Christian Rose and Kenny Alfonso were
and Kenny
announced
Alfonso.
yesterday.
So they've got quite a few people. That's 5 of the 15 that have been confirmed for this match. I assume there's going to be a couple surprises, and I cannot wait.
Well, you keep
go.
harping on one who you think it's going to be. It's why you asked about the whole AEW open door. You know, there's, for those who know what I'm talking about, Eddie Kingston is going to be in St. Louis the night after, or the 2 nights after. He's got a show booked
the next day.
The next day after.
The next day in St. Louis.
He is convinced that he's going to be one of them. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, Walter did say he has a personal relationship with him, so maybe we'll see what happens. But I'm super excited. Like we said, tickets are sold out. Although we amazingly still have our 2 tickets.
Yeah, we have 2 extra tickets, and the only way you can see Ticket to Ride right now, if you don't have your tickets, is us. So just hit us up, message us, come into town, watch some kick-ass wrestling, hang out with us if you want to. If not, you can do your own thing. You don't have to be attached to us or anything. You guys can have a good time. Like, you know, you can be with us. You could hang with us because we're gonna start some serious chantage. Like you can ask Dusty and his kid. We started some chants. They had a good time with us. You can hang with us. You can do whatever you want.
We had the opening and the ending chant from 78 Weeks Later.
That's right. That's right. And we were in such sync on a couple times. We were like, do it now. Nope. Now.
I mean, we were like in production mode on our, like it was a thing of beauty, at least to us. But
yes, 100%.
It's at 1 o'clock on the Saturday, the 28th, so a week from Saturday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you're around town, you're close by, short little drive, Columbia, Omaha, and St. Joe. Come on down, watch the show. Omaha, you can grab dinner at a barbecue joint and be back home before evening news. You know, so hey. Yeah. But yes, DM us on Twitter or send us give us a message down below. Whatever, get in touch with us. We want to make sure everybody can get there. So please let us know about that. Tickets are sold out, but if you can't make it, you can stream it live on Twitch. So that once again, that's twitch.tv/journey2anarchy. Okay.
Moving on.
We have a lot more to get to, but we're going to go through it quick because a lot of short shows, kind of. So let's start off. We're going to get into New Japan Resurgence. We got AAA TripleMania 29. We'll do Impact real quick, Rampage. But let's start off, Jamie, with numbers from this past week.
All right, so here are the numbers for this past week. And for the most part, everybody was down except for 2. That's it.
Okay.
So Raw, any guesses? Yes, it went down. That's correct.
Burp.
Yeah, it went down to 1.79. That is down from their 1.821. So not exactly a whole lot, but still, how the mighty have fallen.
I mean,
they're just
talk about your glorious ramp up to SummerSlam.
Snooze slam right now.
Oh,
chlorophyll, more like borophyll. Anyway, so next is NXT. NXT, of course, it's
which we mentioned last week.
The Olympics. The Olympics hangover is done for them. They drew a 751 up from their 550. But this is the last time we get to see NXT the way it was. NXT is going to be completely different starting this week.
Yeah,
that's
they're
what the
moving.
Reports are saying.
Reports are saying that I thought they were going to hold off till post takeover.
They're saying you're going to start seeing them this week.
And which I know, I heard that, read that too. But I thought it was going to be post takeover, and the word is too that they're moving back to pre-tape shows too.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not a sign of losing faith in the promotion, I don't know what it is. And I read an interesting article about that. There was a whole thing about the power struggle behind the scenes. That there are some, and by some, basically anybody closely attached to Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, Bruce Pritchard, and a few others there. Kevin Dunn, fucking Kevin Dunn, and a few others like that. That are it's basically they don't want Triple H to take over. I think everybody sees it right on the wall that Vince is probably going to bow out of running the company in the near future. He's getting up there in age, and whatever. They don't want Triple H to take over. So there's a lot of talk and written up about this. I don't no idea about the validity, and but Fightful Select report, this PW Insider, Wrestling Inc. I read it, several different places that they are using, as much ammo as they can to try and discredit Triple H in the eyes of Vince McMahon, blaming him, Triple H that is, for them losing the Wednesday Night Wars, even though AEW is not competition, right? Mm-hmm. It's a very interesting read. You go check it out. Any of the dirt sheets have it. Go check it out about the whole tumultuous backstage. So we'll see what happens with NXT moving forward. Doesn't look good, though.
Yeah, I mean, these people don't want to. They all suckle from the teat of Vince McMahon, and they don't want to lose that. And that's all this is.
And it's interesting, too, because I read also that, we've heard about stuff. You've had, that's why you had Karrion Kross lost 2 of his 4 matches on Raw, right? Mm-hmm. He might have had one last night. I didn't fucking watch. I don't know. But also you had Dakota Kai, who's challenging Raquel Gonzalez. She lost to Aaliyah at Main Event a week ago, apparently.
Clean.
And this past week at SmackDown, you had Ridge Holland, who just came back, Xia Li, and Casey Catanzaro backstage. Yeah, even more wrestlers. Yeah, she's way too short, but she's a woman, so Vince doesn't care about this. I don't know.
He's still misogynistic. Let's just be real.
He is.
He sexualized his own daughter for ratings. Like, come on now.
I know. Well, you look at those two. Xia Li is just a muscle bag of a woman. She's so fit, and Casey. Both of them are supreme examples of physical fitness. Casey Catanzaro is the American Ninja, and Xia Li, right, with the kickboxing. Yes,
she is a ninja.
Vince looks at them and just goes, ooh, even though it's not the big, blonde big boob, it's still whatever. But yeah, just more and more and more people rumored to be backstage. So it's OVW V2 coming up soon. Mm-hmm. So I digress. What about the other numbers?
So AEW, if I'd bring these guys up, they actually did go down. This is the first time in 5 weeks, that they were under a million. They're at 979, down from 1.102. Not a whole lot, but just enough. And what I think it was is I think there's a little bit of a hangover from the labors of Jericho. I really do. I think it's just people are just like, okay, that's too much Jericho wrestling on my TV screen. Because he's not as spry and everything. And I think we all know I'm a huge defender of Chris Jericho. He's my second favorite wrestler of all time. But
to a man, yes.
Yeah, it's a lot for me to admit that. Like, I'm over this. Like, I just want to be over at this point. Like, it feels like WWE-ish.
I mean, you can't, just like you say, you can't kick it out of the park every time. Sometimes you need a little step back. And it's barely under a million.
Yeah,
I'm not concerned with that.
And it was still a good show. And we talked about in our review too. It was a good show, but it was just for us because they've set the bar so damn
bars
high.
Up here. You're not going to hit it every time.
Yeah, it's just like
so
guys. Give
I think that goes
some
with
room.
ratings.
Yeah.
If you miss like this 970.
Yeah.
All right, take 970. Sure.
Yeah. So the next night, Impact was on, and Impact had an increase of almost 20,000 people. It went from 103 to 122. That was a nice, healthy increase for them.
For them, it is. I mean, you're talking 20,000 people. We're talking about being 970. But when you're at the numbers that the Impact usually draws, that's a good percentage. That's a good jump. I'm happy with that.
Which again is a much better product than what their numbers are doing. I think they had a better network deal, they'd be in the 3s to 5s consistently.
I think you see 300 on average with bumps to 5 is what I would say.
On like their big shows, for sure.
And I think that, and I have some thoughts about that we'll talk about when it gets to Impact.
Yeah. SmackDown did go down. It went from 2.169 million down to 2.084 million. So not a huge dip. They're still over 2 million, which this is what the first consecutive months over 2 million for a while now.
Right, but it is going down at the wrong time. I mean, this is the ramp up to SummerSlam, you would think. But the interesting part about, I have a note about this, is that their overnight numbers, they went down on the actual statistics. Their overnights were 16.6% higher. I don't know why that is, because, I mean, usually overnights are off a little bit. A couple percentage points one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
17%, though.
That's a huge difference.
The overnights that is basically the second highest, or is like the highest rated SmackDown of the year, basically. And then the numbers came out like, nope, you're actually down from what you were the week before. It's interesting. I don't know what to read into that, but
yeah,
the overnights were like stupid high, and then reality set in. Whatever.
Yeah. Then, now this one surprised the hell out of me in a good way. Actually, you know what? Let me reframe that. I expected this number, but I didn't expect this number. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
This is what I was wanting, and then it hit. I'm like, oh shit, it happened. So, in the inaugural Rampage, 740,000.
So nice.
So
now, I was hoping for 1 million, but that was wishful thinking. I know.
11,000 less than NXT, and they're 1 hour.
On Friday night at 10 Eastern, 9 Central.
Yes.
That's not a good time slot. I'm just saying.
It is not. They pulled a
and they hit that number.
Wow.
And they were like, here's the funny thing about that. They were big in the demo, like a 0.3 in the demo, right? Key demo. They were number 3 on cable for the night. Or the other two, because remember, SmackDown is on broadcast TV. On Fox.
It's not a cable show anymore.
It's not cable. So they were number 3 on cable behind 2 NFL games.
Yeah, 2 preseason games.
That's a pretty good clip to say, yeah, it's NFL, and then AEW. Okay, I could take that.
Yeah, going against the giant that is the NFL.
Speaking of NFL, I read a funny little quip. I saw a little tweet on the NFL Network. They were doing a commentary on the Bears preseason game. I just saw a little clip on Twitter, and it said something happened, and the actual quote was, they basically did a CM Punk to AEW confirmed, joke. They're like that's probably the best arrival in Chicago there until next Friday when CM Punk's supposed to show up at 8. And I'm just like, at AEW. So we made it. I guess we're getting referenced on NFL Network. So hey, there's that.
Yeah. So speaking of Rampage, do you just want to go right into Rampage?
Yes, let's please do it because it was good.
So Rampage, holy shit, bonkers. I'm calling it total Spotfest. Before we even get into it, it was, for the hour you got, they did not disappoint. Again, AEW setting the bar ridiculously high, and I guarantee next week is gonna be even higher.
Next week's gonna be over 1 million for sure. And I'm gonna wait on my rating until we talk about it.
Okay, so the very first match, the opening match in Rampage history, is Kenny Omega, the Cleaner, with Don Callis going against Christian Cage, the instant classic, whatever other names he's got.
Who knows? Christian for the peeps. I don't know.
Christian for the peeps.
Before we get to this match, before you talk about it, let's do this. What was your thought going into this match? Your excitement level for the match, your thoughts about it. What was your thought about that? So
with this going to be the match at All Out, I thought this was a waste of a pay-per-view match. And I was like, then there's no way. I gave you the 2 scenarios. Like, there's no way in hell they are going to wrestle at All Out. and I'm still holding firm.
You're still holding on to that. Okay. But overall, you felt, but the match itself, because I know that if I would have asked you a month ago, you would be like, man, fuck this idea of a match.
100%, because I was anti-Christian Cage at that
You
point.
were anti-Christian. Okay.
All because he held the damn title.
Just checking. Just checking.
I hold a grudge. All right. Okay. But then the match happened.
Oh, sorry. This was for the Impact title, by the way.
Yes, this is for the Impact Championship.
Yeah,
Impact
you
and
had-
TNA. Impact and TNA.
Well, it's interesting because Kenny Omega's defended this title, I think, 4 times now. 3 times. 4 times. Whatever. This is the first time since he won it that I remember them holding up both belts ahead of time. Just saying. Technically, it's the unified title, but I'm just saying. Okay, so anyway.
So
foreshadowing, maybe?
Foreshadowing, maybe.
Maybe.
Definitely. Possibly. Could be. Yeah. All right. This match, though. Wow.
So good.
So both these men are incredible in the ring. And both these men were incredible in the ring together. It was a symphony of moves, storytelling, pace.
Pacing was fantastic.
Legit match of the year candidate. And for somebody who 8 weeks ago was anti-Christian Cage.
That's a lot for him to say, folks. Like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
That's like admitting he likes Cameron Grimes a lot.
Which he is growing on me. But anyway.
Hey!
Yeah. No
He's
kidding.
going to get buried in a week. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, this match had everything you wanted. It had V-triggers. It had amazing moves out of nowhere. It just, like, I can't
Canadian
talk about
Heat. Canadian Heat.
Canadian Heat, yeah.
Because Jericho's on commentary. He talks about they're both Canadians. And it's like, they got Winnipeg and Toronto. They got Canadian Heat. And I'm just like, God bless Jericho on commentary.
Yeah, he was great, even though a lot of people shit on him for his commentary. I thought he did great.
I have a comment on that when we get to. Okay.
So I'll just get to the end of this match just because we're trying to be quick. So the Young Bucks come out. They throw a chair into Omega while Don Callis is distracting the ref.
Right.
And Omega sets up the chair. He's getting ready to do a one-winged angel on Christian. Christian's able to reverse it into an unprettier, I'm not calling it a kill switch, onto the chair, push the chair out. 1, 2, 3. Your new Impact champion, Christian Cage.
I mean, this is his
peeps.
third run as Impact or TNA top champion. It's fitting. The crowd was hot. They were into this from the start.
The crowd was red hot.
I'm like you. I feel like we complained about this last week. Like, why the F are you doing this match when you have this match in 3 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not as convinced, but I'm with you that something's ajar about that follow-up match. But this match was glorious. This is how you start a new show. This is fan-fucking-tastic. Lights out.
Yes. Afterwards, they cut backstage. Mark Henry's interviewing Christian, who's celebrating with Jurassic Express, with Orange Cassidy just kind of hanging off into the side, which I thought was great and interesting. I put a pin in that because I feel like they're foreshadowing something there because, yeah.
Well, they showed him at ringside during the match, and then they used...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing about afterwards, he's like, it took me a lot to win this title, but I know it's going to be even way harder to beat him for the most prestigious title in all the land, the AEW title. So basically kind of shit on Impact right there after winning it, which I thought...
Well, Scott's more like right beside him.
Yeah.
So whatever.
So after this was arguably the hottest the crowd got. And I thought when the main event happened, that was going to be the hottest. No. So speaking of hot, Fuego del Sol had a video package about how, he's got to win this because if he wins, not only does he get the TNT championship, but he gets a contract. Okay?
Hashtag sign Fuego.
Hashtag sign Fuego. So swine.
He said
Fuego. I can't
Swine,
talk.
Words are
Long
hard,
day.
yo.
Yes. So first comes out Fuego del Sol, and to a massive pop, like hardcore pop.
So big.
And he's out there and everything, and then here comes out the Redeemer, God's favorite champion in Miro. My favorite version of Miro.
So good.
It is
so
perfect. Good. So he literally gets into the ring. Miro gets in the ring, and then bam, Fuego hits him with the tornado DDT. Crowd
Before
goes
the bell
apeshit.
rings.
Yes.
Before the bell rings.
Before the bell rings, crowd goes ape shit. And then he finally Miro staggers up, bell rings, he hits another one, even bigger one, and the crowd's just going bonkers, and he rolls out of the ring, and it's like, oh no. And then finally he gets back in. Fuego hits him with another tornado DDT.
Off the hill.
Yeah, 1, 2. Fuego kicks out, or Miro kicks out. It's like,
Miro
damn it.
kicks out.
So he goes for a third one. He goes up on top. Miro catches him on his back. He does a Samoan
that's
drop.
all she wrote for Fuego.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. But the one thing I loved about it was when he did the Samoan drop, Jericho corrected him. It was like, no, it's a Bulgarian drop. He's not Samoan.
Commentary was fantastic.
But 4 people on the commentary is a bit much. I felt like
they said
everybody's
that they're not going to
trying
have 4 people every week. That they're going to have, they'll do some rotation. Like Mark Henry won't be there one week, and Jericho might not be there. So they're going to have some, because 4 people was a bit much.
So Miro is now pissed off. He hits Fuego with that ginormous pump kick that he does. That absolutely looks amazingly devastating. And Fuego's probably arguably the best to sell it, because he looks
Fuego
like he
can
just
take
died.
anything. He is a taker. Like, oh my God, it's glorious.
Miro locks in the game over, acolyte, whatever you want to call it. Fuego taps. Fuego loses. Yeah. And then afterwards,
Fuego loses, and then Miro tears up the contract.
Just tears it up.
Throws it. Yeah.
Throws it. Then they go to commercial. They come back. Here hits Sammy Guevara's music. Sammy Guevara starts to walk out, and Tony Khan's with him.
Coming out.
Tony Khan's with him.
Yep.
Hands him a clipboard.
Ooh, and everybody's like, ooh, is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
So he walks up to the ring, and he's like, you're my best friend. We've been through a lot together. And Tony wanted me to personally tell you this. And you could see Fuego's face. Like, the whole thing was, you could tell this was not planned. This was a complete shoot.
Tony confirmed that afterwards. He said it was a 100% shoot. That Fuego had no idea they were going to do that.
Yeah, like, Fuego was on the verge of tears, everything. Mm-hmm. And Sammy goes, he personally asked me to come out to tell you, you're all elite. And he handed him the clipboard, and the place
biggest reaction of the night.
Nuts.
It was ape shit.
Like, the roof came off that place. So Fuego del Sol, ladies and gentlemen, is officially elite, and I am here for it. I am so happy for the man. Ever since the Sammy Guevara vlogs, he's just been getting over, and he's got a full head of steam. It's amazing.
And it's like, he is our generation's 1, 2, 3 kid. Or this generation's 1, 2, 3 kid for sure, But I am so happy for him. He actually, and it's been helping him a lot. I mean, he's like up on the ranks of what is the wrestling cameo that Pro Wrestling Tees does? It's, Shoot. Yeah, he was number 1 over the weekend on Shoot, and so he's up there near the top on on t-shirt sales for the past couple weeks, and getting bookings, so yes, he deserves it. Not every guy could be 6'7", 380 pounds and chiseled like a Greek god, So you need some little guys that can get their shit beat up every once in a while.
Like, and I tweeted at this because you were absolutely right. Like, I was totally getting 1, 2, 3 Kid vibes. Totally getting 1, 2, 3 Kid vibes at the beginning of the match. Like, oh, he's gonna pull it off. He's gonna pull it off. Oh my God, we actually get to see 2 title changes. This is gonna be insane.
I was like, they're gonna drop Miro's title, really? And then no.
then Miro's like, nah, fuck that noise.
And
so after that, they cut and show Sting and Darby Allin in the rafters, and they talk about next week's Rampage at the United Center again, talking about that. I have thoughts about that we're gonna put a pin in, because
okay,
I got an extra 3 cents on that one. Then they show Mark Henry doing somewhat an interview between Britt Baker and Red Velvet. Red Velvet says she can't wait to whoop her ass, like stir her ass up. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then Britt says she's gonna beat her ass even with a broken wrist in her town. This is her town, which I thought was great. So then after that, we have the main event of the night of Red Velvet versus Britt Baker.
Who was the heel for the night?
Yes, she was. Even though Britt was still doing heel shit.
Weird.
Yeah.
Because I mean, but she's not gonna get booed in Pittsburgh, so you have to make the other person a heel. I don't know. Whatever. Nightly heel. Sure. Whatever.
Sure. So this match was pretty damn good. Again, Britt Baker got a ginormous pop because she is Pittsburgh's favorite daughter. Right.
How about the? I know you didn't catch this here, but there was at the very beginning of the match, Super Steeler nod there. Because the Steelers chant is, you know, and I know everybody's got variants of it, but here we go Steelers, here we go, hoo, hoo. That's the way Pittsburgh does it. So it's here we go Baker, here we go, and I'm just like, yes. Only the Steeler fans get it. Go Steelers.
Okay. Well, anyway, so back to this. This match was actually pretty damn good. Red Velvet has gotten a lot better. This match was really good.
Night and day.
And of course, since Red Velvet was the heel, she attacked Britt's wrist, and that made so much sense, going right after the weakest part of her opponent and just going after it. So the lots of good moves, but I really want to get to the end. So Britt was going for the lockjaw with her broken wrist going into her hand, into her mouth, and freaking Red Velvet grabbed it and just slamming it down, like so she couldn't use it. So Britt reversed it and did it with the other hand, with her left hand, and it was amazing. Was able to get
almost a seamless move to fully reverse it, and that in and of itself was impressive enough for this entire match.
Yeah, and like so Britt got her to tap out. She retains. Your women's champion still is Miss Britt Baker, DMD. So crowd went nuts, right? After the match, gets fun because Rebel comes in. I'm still gonna call her Rebel because it's Reba and Rebel. So,
but you lost your like Middle Tennessee accent.
Oh, sorry, Rebel. Rebel.
There you go.
Rebel comes in. So after the match, Britt continues to beat up Velvet, and Chris Statlander comes in to attack her.
Who was shown at ringside.
Rebel got kicked out. Sorry, Rebel got kicked
out.
Yeah,
she got kicked out. You know, she's just beating her up, but Statler comes to make the save and she was featured at ringside too, by the way. You know,
yes,
along with Orange Cassidy earlier in the show.
Yeah. So then, out of nowhere, some random woman comes and attacks Statlander. Just out of nowhere, she takes off her hat. And I'm like, who is that? She looks familiar.
It looks almost like Becky Lynch. You saw the red hair, and you're like,
yeah. Well, it's like
it's not Becky Lynch, guys.
Yeah. But I was like, man, she looks really familiar.
It definitely was not Ruby Soho. Hey, Ruby.
There it is. I'm glad you got that. So she takes it off. I'm like, man, she looks so familiar. I've seen her before. And it's Jamie Hayter, who has been on, but she had dark hair at the time. And
it was like 2 years. She was like at the very beginning, wasn't it? Or like a year and a half ago?
Her and B. Priestley are like best friends. And
right.
So,
oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
So they were a team at one point, but Jamie Hayter back then too, she was a little bit thicker. Like she got shredded. She's more shredded than Julian Sal, man.
there it goes for you. All right.
Like she got shredded and everything. So Jamie Hayter's back, and she is the new muscle for Britt Baker out of nowhere.
Which is a good. I feel like of all the things that happened in the night, that's the one thing that even us marks are kind of had to dig and think about. Okay, all right, I remember her. What was she? You know, I think for the general person, it's like, okay, it's some chick that I never. You know, that's the one thing of the entire show that kind of might have left some people going, oh, I don't get it. You know, why is that a big deal? That being said, I'm gonna pull out my ever rare total spot fest for this show because it definitely deserved it. And I'll tell you what, you talk about pacing for matches, pacing for a show. You had like 2 interviews and a promo in the middle of everything, plus 3 matches in 1 hour, and it didn't feel like it was crammed. It didn't feel like too much stuff. It felt it was Goldilocks. It felt right. Kudos. This was great.
It was
total spot fest.
It was amazing. Like the Fuego moment made it for me. You know, I thought
Christian
the
Cage,
matches were
Christian
great.
Cage and Kenny Omega was amazing. Britt Baker was solid. You had a third of the show was dedicated to women. Thank you. So,
Yep.
I love it.
Yep, I loved it too. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Rampage. Next week is at the United Center, where we might be announcing a new person. We might. I don't know. I do know. I think there's gonna be a curveball, but we're gonna wait for that because I'm gonna wait for the opportune time to talk about it.
Okay. All right. Hold that thought. So, that basically got your weekend started with wrestling. Okay. So, before that happened was Impact the night before. Now, we know the Impact champion is now Christian Cage, and the main event of this Impact was a first contender battle royal. So, you know, if you're like me and you watched them not in order, so you watched Rampage on Friday, and then over the weekend you watched the replay of Impact. Yeah, it's a little whatever. But be that as it may, this is actually a pretty entertaining show. Tenille Dashwood versus Taylor Wilde to start the show.
Ooh, good match.
And it ended. This was a very good match. Both of these women very good. Tenille's gotten even better lately. She was going on like ups and downs there, but you know, I think that she really found her stride in the past few months in Impact Wrestling. So, and she got the win thanks to interference by Madison Rayne. Yes, Madison Rayne pulling out of nowhere. Yeah, she was retired, right? Well, apparently freaking not.
Yeah,
I mean,
again?
if Melina's going to come back and challenge. I mean, and so after the match, though, the part you got of it, so she goes in the ring, and there's a little stare off with Tenille, a little stare off, and then they hug it out. So
nice, perfect.
Maybe Tenille's finally found her tag team partner, which if you don't familiar with Madison Rayne, it fits perfectly.
They fit together like peas and carrots.
She came in and she was a good looking woman with decent wrestling skills, and then got lopped in with the beautiful people and just ran with it and did her career's wonders. After Angelina and Velvet left TNA Impact at the time, she was still there. She took over as the Killer Queen in her own right and everything. And they came back and then they left, but she was always there. And she's got that very much, that conceited kind of prima donna character, which is great and fits with Tenille wonderfully. So I like this. Even if they're not wrestling together, I like her being involved with Tenille. It helps her out a bunch.
I agree. Like I said, peas and carrots.
Oh,
they go
peas and
together like
carrots.
peas and carrots.
You like peas and carrots.
I love you, Jedi.
That was I wasn't gonna go there, but okay, you can.
My
do it
wife's
there,
name's Jenny, so I did that a lot when we were dating. I love you, Jedi. We go together. Like
Next
peas
match
and
was
carrots.
Daivari versus Josh Alexander. If Daivari won, he got a shot at Josh. I'm moving on fast. Josh Alexander got a win. Then there's a little stare off with Jake something, who they're fighting at Emergence. Next
thing will be Submergence.
No, goddammit. No more emergences. I'm having emergency over here. Oh! Yeah, Kira Hogan came out, she came out to the ring and tried to call out Tasha Steele, and she was answered not by Tasha Steele, but by Su Yung.
Oh, Su Yung?
Su Yung is back. She's been a little bit revamped. They've changed up her look a slight bit. So she comes out, and then she calls out her porcelain doll, who is Kimberly, and sends her to the ring, and literally what's marionette puppets her, a few things. Like she pulls out her bloody glove, which she does her finisher is the mandible claw with this bloody like lacy glove, like stocking glove, right?
Nice.
There's a whole backstory to the Su Yung character. I don't have time to get into it. It's very interesting, especially if you like horror and weird stuff, like Jamie does.
Yes, please.
And Jamie likes him some Su Yung, so for that reason, but actually she's a good wrestler too. So she pulls it out, and as she's putting it on, Kimber has one that she pulled out too and is putting it on, and then Su Yung does like this, and then Kimber does the mandible claw on Kira Hogan. And so, yeah, they taught her a lesson. No, they haven't, because they then drag her by her hair out up the ramp and out the arena.
That's awesome.
So that's how they wrote her off.
Perfect.
Impact.
Perfect.
It took her soul. It was great. She put them over. Kira did. She is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be showing up. Spoiler alert. Well, it's not a spoiler anymore. It was on yesterday.
Yeah.
I forget. Dark Elevation. Whatever. She premiered yesterday against Sheeta on Dark Elevation. So does that mean she's a permanent fixture in AEW? Don't know.
Don't know yet. She's weighing her options. What I heard.
But still. Good stuff for her. Good. That's how you write somebody off. That's how you do it.
You steal their fucking soul.
I mean, I was like, oh, they beat her up. That's how they got to get her. Oh no, they're dragging her. Okay, I like it. And Su Young's back in full force, baby. Yep.
I love me some Su Yung. She's like, and here's the thing too, like, cause I like scary stuff and everything. Like, she's like scary hot. It's like, man, you could steal my soul any day. Like that, like I don't get it. Cause like regular, like when she gets that persona, I'm like,
she's
oh
changed
my
up
God.
a little bit. She used to have like the big like black like lace dress thing, and now she's got more of like a pink and white. She's wearing like basically not a bikini, but like wrestling style, like bra and briefs, whatever. But it's definitely, fits the Su Yung character. And then she's got like kind of this pinkish, whitish, lace shawl that she wears. So it's a little bit different looking Su Yung, but it's definitely the same thing. So it's really cool. So yeah, which I like that. You can evolve the look. Undertaker did that for fucking ever, right? Chris Bay and Jay White next against Finn Juice. So you had the Bullet Club versus Finn Juice. Ends up with, now this is in preparation for New Japan Resurgence, because Jay White was defending the never openweight title against David Finlay, which I'm going to get to in a minute here. So this match didn't actually matter, and Jay White ends up interfering with a pinfall attempt with a chair, and then beats up David Finlay pretty good. So
perfect.
Anyway, Finn Juice gets the win by DQ, but like I said, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Next match is interesting because you had Matt Cardona versus John Schuyler, who you might have seen. He's been an indie guy. He's based out of the Carolinas. I can't. He's one of those. If you see him, you're like, oh yeah, that guy looks familiar. Sort of one of those guys, right? Mm-hmm. And okay, so a couple of weeks ago, there was like a backroom altercations, kayfabe, altercation with Rohit Raju and Shira and Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green. They got mad. They threw something and it ended up hitting like Chelsea Green, and so whatever. Oh no, bro. I'm sorry. Whatever, that sort of stuff. Well, apparently not, because they came out in the middle of this, caused a distraction. John Schuyler beat Matt Cardona on a nationally syndicated wrestling program. So. Yeah, that's cool.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that.
It was an entertaining enough match. I mean, this John Schuyler, I know I've seen him before. I can't place it, but I've seen him on other things. Maybe it was like dark during the pandemic. I don't remember, but whatever. Then you get the announcement that next week Milena will make her Impact Wrestling debut, in preparation of her match against Deonna Purrazzo at Empower, which is the night after Journey Pro KC's weekend at Journeys.
Absolutely. Just throwing that out there. John Schuyler was on AEW.
Okay, I know I've seen him before. Anyway, he's a good talent. I don't know if he's officially with them or not, but he's 1-0 in Impact. I know that. It ends the night with the number one contender 20-man battle royal. You had all the hits here. Falaba's in there. You got Matt Cardona. You got W. Morrissey, Eddie Edwards, Willie Mack, Violent by Design, Moose, Callahan, Ace Austin, all the stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody who has not wrestled this basically the night is in there. And they do this smart stuff. The entire ring gangs up on W. Morrissey, gets him eliminated pretty early.
Smart.
And then there's good comedy bit by Falaba, who, as I said before, is definitely my spirit animal. Moose is in there causing havoc. He's looking good. Sammy's looking good. I can't remember who did it, but somebody did a chop to Sam Beal. And it was such a chop that left an immediate hand mark welt on Sam Beal's right titty. And so as it happens, in the same line sight, they kind of go over, and there is Sami Callihan in the corner who's like ground and pounding somebody else. And you see him go, holy right as it's happening, because it was impressive. And another reason why I love Sammy, he's always in character. It's fantastic.
So
I know some people
is a Walter level chop.
He was. It was. He almost lost a damn nipple. I mean, it was intense. Yeah, and you know, people. I know people dog on Sammy because of his physique or whatever. Maybe doesn't have the look, you know. But I love his character work. I love that bruiser mentality. Mm-hmm. If he was 5 inches taller and 40 pounds lighter, he'd be Jon Moxley. And so what? He's got a little bit different, but he's got. I love Sami Callihan. I don't care what anybody else says. So, and I especially say that because one of my move of the night from Impact Wrestling was Sammy. I mean, despite the chop from hell, right? Mm-hmm. My move was Sami Callihan exploding Ace Austin. So, they both end up on the apron, which I didn't know if you know this or not, but it is the hardest part of the ring.
It is? I didn't know that.
It is. As a matter of fact, it's confirmed it is. So, they're both on the apron. And they're fighting. Well, Madman Fulton got eliminated earlier, but he comes back out to kind of, prevent Ace from hitting the ground. So Ace then kind of sits on his shoulders, right? And they're kind of kicking and punching back and forth and all this stuff. And then he's walking forward with Ace, and Sammy is kind of an unintentional doomsday device. He just explodes him off of Madman Fulton's shoulders. Go look at the GIF on YouTube or on Twitter. It's amazing. Rest in peace, Ace Austin. It was that good looking. So,
oh wow.
He ends up getting eliminated then, and then it comes down. You have Brian Myers, Moose, and Chris Sabin in the ring. Ooh. And Myers is kind of off on the side, he got beat up or whatever, really soaking his injury. Moose and Sabin, of course, have a feud, so they're just going at each other hardcore, right? And they both up on, and so Sabin's got him like kind of a chokehold. They're both by the ropes. Here comes Brian Myers. He's not hurt. He's biding his time. He eliminates both of them.
Oh,
he's your number one contender.
Oh,
Brian Myers, the former Kurt Hawkins,
Edgehead
versus what?
Edgehead. Don't forget he was an Edgehead.
He's former Edgehead too. But former Kurt Hawkins. Brian Myers versus Christian Cage at Emergence this Friday.
Interesting.
It was. And I like it, because it's, even if it's just a one-time, chance for him, it's not the same old. It's not just Callihan and Moose getting the shots, right?
I mean, he never got a title shot in WWE ever.
No, he's getting a shot at the world title. So,
ooh,
kudos to him.
What if they drop it right there?
That'd be interesting. I think that'd do a lot of damage to Christian if they did that.
It would totally derail All Out.
I mean, momentum would be just shot. I don't think it'll happen.
Unless Omega interferes and he loses because Omega interference.
Okay, that would give it some validity, but I still think it would hurt.
Oh, no matter what, it hurt, and I'd be okay with it. No, I was kidding.
Okay, so that was Impact. Another note about Impact I wanted to say: Mercedes Martinez confirmed to make her one of her first appearances coming up here. It's got this promotion called Wrestle Pro. She's going to be getting an Impact title shot against Deonna Purrazzo, which I found interesting.
That is interesting.
Because if you're getting an Impact title shot, now I think Impact's a good landing spot for Mercedes. I really do.
I do too, 100%.
I mean, I know she was in AEW before, and apparently from I don't know, but I have not heard of any bridges that have been burnt there. I think there's no ill will as far as I know.
Yeah,
but I think Impact makes more sense for her personally. So
agreed.
Now, Deonna Purrazzo had another match over the weekend, and so did a few others. So on Saturday night, we had a couple shows, and the first one chronologically, because, West Coast stuff, right?
Yeah.
Was AAA's TripleMania 29. Mexico's top promotion. If you're not familiar with lucha wrestling, it is a different animal, definitely.
100%.
Like tag wrestling doesn't actually have tags.
No, that's just a thing.
It's lucha rules. It's just 2-on-2. Go.
Yes. Have fun. Don't kill each other.
Yeah. What's illegal? What's not? I don't know. It varies. Who knows, right?
It does by the match. It's weird. Love it though.
Their opening match was team. It was team hero. It was Team Marvel hero luchadors versus Team Marvel villain luchadors. Brian Cage, I'm pretty sure was luchador Thanos. I'm pretty sure that was Brian Cage. There was a luchador Spider-Man who tried to do the Shawn Michaels zipline entrance, but as Spider-Man upside down, and because of where his weight was shifted, he kept getting stuck on the thing, and it's just roll in like whatever. There was Luchador Hulk, which was a very interesting one. This is luchador wrestling. This is what it is. This is part of its shtick. So
good,
if you think it's too comical to whatever, it's like you're missing the point. It was actually pretty entertaining. You had a bunch of undercards. I'm not going to get into it. I'm only getting to the 3 matches I think that I like the most and that really make the most sense. None of them were the actual main event. The main event was Rael Scorpion versus Psycho Clown hair versus mask match. I felt it was not the right place for it, and I'll explain why in a minute. By the way, Psycho Clown won, and they shaved Rael Scorpion with his niece in the ring. I don't know. It was weird, but that's also why I don't think it went there. So the 3 matches I'm talking about, you had Deonna Purrazzo, title versus title, and she won Reina de la Reina. She is now a double belt champion. Now, there was definitely some shady underhandedness from the referee there. He did at one point in time pull Deonna while she was in a submission mode over to the rope. So play with it what you will. I don't know. Because once again, I don't speak Spanish. And the stream I was watching was in Spanish. So I'm sorry. I can't give you more details. There might have been some stuff said. Who knows?
Yeah.
But she ended up getting the win. And there you go. Of course, they fought a little bit afterwards, whatever, this and that. And, so she is now your AAA and Impact Women's Champion. Good for her. The female belt collector.
Yeah, the virtuoso.
After that, you had my favorite match of the night. It was the AAA Tag Team Championship match. Your defending champions, the Lucha Brothers, versus Brian Cage and Taurus, otherwise known as Black Taurus from Decay. He's Taurus in AAA. Versus Laredo Kid and probably the best luchador flippy spinny wrestler you've never heard of if you don't follow Mexican wrestling. Hijo del Vikingo. Hijo Hijo del Vikingo. He's like a luchador Viking is his shtick. He doesn't have a mask. He's a non-masked wrestler. But they came out to how they did the Druids for Undertaker and how Joey Ryan had the penis Druids, right? Well, here we had a bunch of luchador Vikings come out and line the aisle coming up there for him and Laredo Kid.
That's awesome.
It was cool. Laredo Kid, we've seen on AEW multiple times over, right?
He's amazing.
And this match fucked. It was, my God. I mean, Brian Cage is such an agile meat of a man. Taurus, you don't really get to see him shine as much as you do in the Mexican circuit. I think he looks better than he does on Impact. Maybe writing, who knows? I don't know. But Lucha Brothers are as advertised, right? And my God. So at one point in time, they had stacked up, I think it was one of the Lucha Brothers, I think it might have been Pentagon and Taurus. I don't know. It was like one from each team. They stacked them on top of each other in a corner. And then Laredo Kid went up and did a 450 splash on them. And then Vikingo went up and did a 450 splash on them. In succession. And just the amount of flippy spinning alone was worth the watch. This match was unbelievable. Lucha Brothers ended up winning. They defended their championship. They got the victory, but it was amazing. And then after that, you had what should have been the end to the night, in my opinion. It was Kenny Omega defending the AAA Mega Championship against Andrade El Idolo. I feel like that and the Psycho Clown Real Scorpion should have been flip-flopped. Once again, I can't speak to their promotion. Psycho Clown's like the biggest star in their promotion right now. So whatever. I don't know. But this match had all the feel of, just a big like Vegas fight, right? No matter what David Metzger said. Because I don't know if this is a 5-star match, but it was a unbelievable match. And you had all the openings. So Don Callis was not there.
Yeah.
Before the match, Conan was trying to this is up on Dynamite a few weeks ago. He was trying to weasel his way in and be in, the corner man for Andrade, and Andrade told him off, told him to get out, whatever. So he goes across the hallway and knocks on Kenny Omega's door, and he's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "No, trust me, let me in. I guarantee you want to talk business. Well, I have a business proposition that guarantees that you win." I'm listening. Come on in. So he was the corner man for Kenny Omega. And then you had Andrade come out. He's in his full black mask, right? So you got the black mask and the thing. And he's and they have this little table set up on the entrance ramp. He just slowly takes one glove off, takes the other glove off, takes his tie off, and then just slowly undressing. And you're just playing it out. And when he gets his top off, he's just in his the pants he's going to wrestle in, right? He just goes. And then you hear the familiar original music. Done. Oh, no, I'm doing it wrong. Whatever. Ric Flair's fucking music.
Yes, Ric Flair. Dun, dun.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
Boom, boom.
Yep. Nature Boy is there. Nature wasn't the only one. Charlotte was there as well as some others. But Nature Boy was in his future son-in-law's corner, and that was a feel-good moment. This match was great. This match had fantastic stuff. The ref again was leaning towards Kenny Omega. There was fast counts for Omega, slow counts for Andrade. I think that's what Conan had in mind. And at the end of the day, there's distraction upon distraction. At one point there was a double figure four. So Ric Flair doing a figure four on Conan and Andrade doing a figure four on Omega. And I want to see Andrade pull the figure four into his arsenal permanently. It's canon now inside the wrestling ring that he's part of the Flair family. Not married yet, but he is. So I like that. But Kenny Omega with a distraction hit him with the belt, did the one-wing angel on the belt, gets the victory. So that, I felt, should have been the end to the night. That should have. I think that and the Psycho Clown match should have been switched, but it was a hell of a start to the night.
For sure.
And then that led into my finish for the night, which was New Japan Wrestling, which started at 10 o'clock Central Time because time zones, right? So New Japan Resurgence was unbelievable. Now,
insane.
A ton of matches, and I'm just going to go through a lot of these here. I'm just going to kind of plow through it, okay? So you had Alex Coughlin versus Carl Fredericks, two young guys, up-and-comers. Carl Fredericks won. The match was on fire. It was strong, stiff, good pacing. There's a good backstory to it. They're both from the LA dojo, right? So that was a good start to the night. Then you got a 6-person tag match. You got Fred Rosser, Ricky Romero, and Wheeler Utah. Versus TJP, Clark Connors, and Ren Narito. And
hey, good job.
This was. I know. I'm gonna get these names. I'm confident I can do this time. And if I fail, you're right there to back me up.
I am.
TJP, Clark Connors, and Narito got the win, right? Then you had a 10-man tag, and there was a substitution because Brody King, unforeseen circumstances. I don't know if it's travel or injury or COVID or what, but he couldn't be there.
Yeah.
So you had Leo Rush, Chris Dickinson, Fred Yeehee, Adrian Quest, and Yuya Unumi. versus filthy Tom Lawler, who is the New Japan Strong Openweight champion. Openweight?
Openweight.
Yes. For those of you are not familiar, openweight means that any person is the heavyweight champion. If you're like a cruiserweight, you can't challenge for that in Japan. They have more of a sporting feel to it that matches kind of like boxing and stuff like that. So openweight means that anybody can challenge you for that title.
That is correct.
So Tom Lawler, J.R. Kratos, Jarrell Nelson, Royce Isaacs, and Danny Limelight, formerly of AEW, now of MLW?
MLW and New Japan Strong.
Okay. Yep. And so 10-man tag, it was just bonkers. Stuff all over the place. J.R. Kratos is I love him. I've never seen him before, but I love watching him. Big old honking dude. Tom Lawler's great. He's one of the best heels out there right now. And Leo Rush, seeing him back in the ring is fantastic. So Leo's team gets the victory. Then you had a match that I didn't expect to be as good as it was. Juice Robinson versus Hikuleo. And this was great. I seen Juice like, okay, right, sure, good. No, Juice showed up for this match, and he was playing to the crowd, and it was just, it was fantastic. Hikuleo doing all the things. He's still young. He's a younger brother of the Girls of Destiny.
Yes.
Boop. It's a little pin. And Juice Robinson got the win, though.
Yep.
Then you had a match that I was not expecting to blow my mind, but it sure as shit did. You had Tomohiro Ishii versus Moose.
Ishii.
There's too many eyes. Good
Ishii.
Lord. Ishii. I was close. I was so close.
Close.
This match was unbelievable. And there's the whole story that they fought in 2016, and now it's like the second go around. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Ishii ends up getting the victory over Moose.
He sure did.
Then, and I'm just plowing through it because after that, here comes to the ring Will Ospreay.
Yeah, he does.
Makes an entrance and grabs the mic like a badass, and it's just like, holy shit. And I'm like, poor Jamie's in Omaha, and I'm watching this live. This is great. I know you've seen it already, but
I did.
It was fantastic. So he said that he is medically cleared, and it's a miracle. He's got medically cleared after 4 months, and it's a travesty that New Japan stripped him of his title. Because apparently the rule of thumb is 6 months or more. If you're going to be out, you get stripped of your title. Well, we all thought that if his career was going to continue, it was going to be like a year before he came back, right?
Yeah.
The fact that he's even in a wrestling ring right now is amazing. It was that bad.
Yeah, his neck was pretty ugh.
But he is back, and he is not going to be performing at G1. In fact, he's not going back to Japan. He's making his home here in New Japan Strong, which you want to grow your sub-brand. Okay, that's how you fucking do it, right? So he also said that he doesn't recognize that title belt that they have over there. He then goes over to the corner where he has a Jake the Snake style bag, which he opens up and pulls out his own IWGP World Heavyweight Championship belt.
Yeah, he's throwing major shade at Shingo Takagi. Major shade.
And he is, and they've not holding back, cussing left and right, just being the ultra heel. He is one of the best in the world, period. Then here's the part that gets me. Okay, so he's staying in New Japan Strong and will take on any challengers, and then makes a bunch of references to Impact and AEW. So, I mean, where's your dream match lie? Is it Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay? Is it MJF versus Ospreay? Jericho versus Ospreay? Is it Moose versus Ospreay? Is it insert Orange Cassidy Osprey? Is it Miro Osprey? Is it? I mean, where do I stop? The possibilities just blow my mind. And he'll be in New Japan Strong, who's got ridiculous talent too. So
let me officially pull out my pen.
Go right ahead.
At one point, 6 months ago, one Will Ospreay said he is the best in the world.
I mean,
and
that.
How big of a troll job would it be for AEW to actually not do CM Punk here and do Will Ospreay on Rampage?
That would be amazing.
I would lose my mind.
That would be amazing, especially in Chicago.
In Chicago, on his home turf, when everybody and their mother is absolutely expecting CM Punk to be the one who shows up, you get Will Ospreay, who is technically the best in the world today.
And then I'm going to add to that we're just fancy booking the fuck out of this, right? And then all out, who interferes in Ospreay's match?
One CM Punk.
CM Punk. Oh, yes.
You see?
That's how you...
You see?
I'm in love with that.
That's my hot take.
In love with
that's
that.
my hot take.
Oh, that's a hell of a hot take. All right. Okay.
Mark Stradamus might strike here. If Mark Stradamus strikes on this one, I'm just going to retire.
I'm giving you a crown. I'm not going to put it in the image here because I got this episode is long. If you're with us through all this, thank you. I know we had a long interview with almost an hour-long interview with Walter, and we got a bunch of stuff. Thank you for sticking with us.
Yes.
If you're not with us, well, fuck you. You're not here anywhere. You can't hear me. So, all right, couple more matches, and let's put a giant pin in that just in case. We'll see on Friday.
Yes.
So Moxley versus his mystery partner versus the Good Brothers, and I saw there was going to be Sami Callihan. I was assuming Sami Callihan.
Same.
Oh, the Switchblades are back in action. He even copyrighted the damn name. Moxley did.
Yeah, Switchblades. A Switchblade conspiracy.
So he teams up with, of course, his surprise partner is Yuji Nagata.
I know.
Out of nowhere.
Crazy.
Okay, sure. Whatever. The Good Brothers were in rare form. They beat the shit out of Moxley and got the win. So.
Yeah, they looked great.
Then afterwards, they start talking. They got the mics. And New Japan, I don't know if this is all kayfabe or not, but they have like the whole like wired microphone still and everything. And whatever. It's just part of their shtick. Whatever. But the mic goes out like mid sentence by Condison, banging the mic and doing the thing, and nothing's working. So he goes and gets another one, and it doesn't work. And I can't. They're like, what? Whatever. And here comes the Gorillas of Destiny.
Gorillas of Destiny.
Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And this is what Jamie's been harping on for months.
Long-term
you figured it was going to be in
baby.
You said it was going to be in AEW, which still can be. But
at All Out,
they show up and they're flaunting their chest and they're like, let's do this, let's go, whatever. Of course, the Good Brothers back away, but long-term booking. So finally, Gorillas, Good Brothers, button heads face to face. I want to see.
I need that in my life so bad.
Then you had a double main event. So your first match of the main event was Jay White versus David Finlay for the never openweight title. My God, Jay White can work a match. David Finlay too. I mean,
yeah.
Let's give credit where credit's due, but I mean the onus is on Jay White because he won, he retained in the most Jay White fashion, right? Gets beat and just near fall after near fall after near fall. Gets a sneak opening. Boom! Hits his finisher is basically a Sister Abigail variant, more or less, right? So hits his finisher out of nowhere. Bam, bam! Gets the victory and then runs out, just like Jay White. It's perfect.
Yep.
So then you have Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Lance Archer for the IWGP US title, which Archer won like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he hasn't had that long.
But as Jamie's made mention of it for New Japan, they don't really care about keeping titles on people that long. Spoiler alert, they didn't keep it on Lance Archer. So Tanahashi gets the victory. Moxley is sitting at ringside, by the way. He came out, sat by the bell ringer shortly after the match started. And, Archer then afterwards, he tells Moxley to go F himself and that he's first in line. He gets a shot. He wants a shot at a rematch, but he wants it in an AEW ring. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Tanahashi starts talking, and Tanahashi's English it's not bad considering,
No.
We've heard some Japanese superstars that don't speak a lick of English, and why would they? It's not their native tongue, and it's about as night and day as far as linguistics go.
He's Shinsuke level.
I was gonna say him and Shinsuke are pretty good. They're about the same, and I think right below them is where you have Io and Asuka, but Shinsuke's not bad at it, and he's about there. He's give or take. So he comes out and he starts in English addressing thank you to the fans, all this stuff, blah blah blah. And then his desire that once we get back to a more normal sense, that he wants to come over and he wants to wrestle in AEW and the whole 9 yards. So just confirming that. I mean,
he does.
Tanahashi on AEW. We've been wanting that for a while. We want that. We also want the Rainmaker. I mean, yes. Plus Girls' Destiny. I mean, all of them. So this was a great start to New Japan coming back. They also announced during the show they have more shows, or I think they're doing one a month in America. So they got one in Dallas, one in Philly, and there was somewhere else. I don't remember. But yeah. That was the weekend of wrestling, and my God, that was a lot.
A ton, but man, it was a lot. And we got a lot more to go, man. Like this week.
So much.
I mean, this week you got all sorts of stuff.
Much.
You got Dynamite, where Sting's going to wrestle on TNT for the first time since WCW. You got, obviously, Rampage in Chicago to see either CM Punk or Will Ospreay or Bryan Danielson. Like, somebody's debut.
Some combination or all the above, or something different. Who knows?
The ultimate troll job would be Will Ospreay, though.
I mean, that'd be doing trolling right, though. And then you have Go Home and the Impact mini pay-per-view Emergence. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, it is SummerSlam and TakeOver weekend as well. So
they're about to lose me. Which there is no word on Adam Cole. There's no word if he's signed or anything yet. Rumor has it he's probably going to, but they still don't know.
I mean, it's mum all over the place. Who knows? So it's either best kept secret or he is out the door Monday morning.
Well,
who knows?
We'll find out Monday night, I bet.
We'll find out Monday night for sure. If he shows up on Raw, we'll know. Be that as it may, and I'm very doubtful I watch SummerSlam. I'll watch TakeOver though. We still have belts that we have to challenge for.
Yes.
So even though we don't really care about WWE as much anymore, it's a tradition with the Big Four. We got to do it. So we're going to compile our picks. We're going to get them ready next Tuesday. And I hope we don't go 2 hours next Tuesday. Once again, I apologize if we don't like to go this long, but we appreciate it. But we're going to go over our pick results for SummerSlam, for TakeOver, as well as talk about whatever happens Friday night on Emergence and Rampage. So much stuff. Oh, and then the following week is Journey Pro, and then the following week is All Out.
Yep.
So much right now.
We have a tall task to try to dethrone the belt collector.
I think we could do it. We got 2 shots. She can't have all 4 belts. She can't. My soul won't let it happen. So we'll see.
She's our Kenny Omega. Are you going to be her Christian Cage?
Hashtag not my champion. Exactly. I'll be Christian Cage.
Sure. No, I doubt it.
On that note, anything else you want to go over? I mean, I think we've covered it.
I'm spent. We got a lot out.
We did a lot.
Exhausting.
All right. Well, thank you guys as always. We do appreciate it. We still have those tickets for sale. 2 tickets we got extra for Journey Pro, the show for Weekend of Journeys on the 28th. So give us a shout or give us a comment. Our personal Twitters are here. Give us each whatever. Just DM us somehow at Total Spot Fest. Let us know you want them. $25 face value. We're not fucking with price. Just same as it always is. So let us know, and we will be back on Thursday. We're gonna go over whatever happens on AEW, and that is it for tonight. So thank you guys for joining it. We do appreciate it. Jamie, please take us home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spot Fest, I got 4 words for you. Osprey on Rampage, baby.
Is that 5, baby? Whatever.
It's hyphenated. It's one word.
It's hyphenated. All right. Thank you guys. See you next time.
Peace.